Hey everybody, it's me Dana, and guess what? It's tutorial time. That's right, it's tutorial time. Today we're going to be working on C2C, and when I say C2C, I'm talking about corner to corner. Now that's a stitch that's super awesome. I saw people make blankets and pillows and all kinds of cute little items, hats, beanies, all kinds of good stuff. So we're going to work on that stitch today. So what I'm doing, I'm using an H hook, which is a 5mm, if you can see it. And I'm using some worsted weight yarn. As you see, it's crinkled because I'm using some yarn that I was going to make a top with, and I didn't end up using it. So guess what? I'm going to use it for this tutorial. So grab your worsted weight yarn, grab your H hook, and let's go ahead and get started. Alright guys, so let's go ahead and get started. We're going to begin with a chain of 5. So we're going to go ahead and chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So now 5 guys, and what we're going to do is we're going to work in the top loops. Okay, we're not going to work in that back hump. We're going to work right in those top loops, and we're going to skip the first one and the second one. So we're going to skip this first one, the second one, and we're going to work in the third one, and we're going to do a double crochet in that third loop. Okay, now if you need to learn how to do a double crochet, you can watch my tutorial on how to do that. And now we're going to do a double crochet in the last 2 as well. Okay, so we double crocheted in that third chain, we've double crocheted in the fourth, and now we're going to double crochet in the fifth. Okay, now you may find a tutorial where people will do a chain of 6, but I find that a chain of 5 works really neat, and it gives you a really nice finished project at the end where it's really snug and it all fits together really well. So this is our first square. This is considered our first row or our first block, whatever the pattern may call for or call it. So this is what we get. Now on our second row, we're going to have 2 of these blocks. So let's go ahead and get to that second row. We're going to begin, like I said, a chain 5. Every time you start your row, you're going to want to start with a chain of 5. Okay, so there we go. We have our chain of 5, and again, we're going to be working in those top loops, skipping the first one and the second, and working in that third. So again, let's go ahead and work in the third chain, doing a double crochet. So we're doing a double crochet in the third again. We're doing a double crochet in that fourth again. And then we're going to do a double crochet in the fifth. Right in that top loop, guys. Okay? And this is what your work should look like. Okay? So now we have to work into that first block that we created. And in order to work in our first block, what you're going to do is you're going to turn your work. So once you turn your work, you're going to do like so, turn it to the left, and you're going to find that beginning chain space that you worked on. In the beginning, we skipped the first 2 chains, and we worked in the third and the fourth and the fifth. So it's going to leave us with this chain space here. And so what we're going to do is we're going to slip stitch right into that chain space. So we're just going to go right in that chain space, and we're going to slip stitch. Just like so. As you can see, it's kind of pushing it together, and it's giving it a neat look. Now what we're going to do is chain 2. This is going to be our first double crochet. Now in that same space that we just slip stitched in, we're going to do 3 double crochets. So let's go ahead and do 1, 2, and 3. So now this is the end of our row 2, and we have 2 blocks. So our first one is 1 block, our second one is 2 blocks. So if we continue on, we will have 3 blocks. And now that we're starting another row, you know what we're going to do. We're going to go ahead and chain 5. So let's go ahead and chain another 5, guys. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So now that we have 5, we're going to go ahead and work down our chain again. And when we work down our chain, we're skipping that first, that second, and we're beginning in our third chain. right in that top loop. So we're going to just do a double crochet all along these last 3 chains, which is 1, and there's a second one, and there is the third one. Okay, so that's what it should look like. So this is what it should look like, guys. And now, like I told you guys before, after we are done, after we do our first 3, we're gonna turn our work so we can work in our next squares. So we turned our work, and now we're going to slip stitch right into that chain space right here. So we're gonna slip stitch right in there. Okay, let me get into camera for you guys and yarn over, and then we're going to slip stitch just like so. Now we're going to chain 2, and then we're going to do 3 double crochets right in that space, guys. So let's do 1, 2, and 3. And now that we're on this 3rd row, we know we need 3 squares, and we only have 2 so far, so we have to go to our next one, which is our last one here, and we're going to do the same exact thing. We're going to find that chain 2 space at the end, which is there, and we're going to slip stitch right in it. Okay, so we're going to go inside, and we're going to yarn over and pull through. That's a slip stitch. And now we're going to go ahead and chain 2. And we're going to work another 3 in there, 3 double crochets. This is going to be finishing row 3. So that's 1 double, 2 double, and 3 double crochets. Look at there, guys. We are working with this C2C, right? And it looks really nice. It's looking really neat. And this is what we're going to be continuing to do. As you can see, these stitches, they lay on top of each other. And it's just like a little blended family here where they all lay on top and they all fit in like a puzzle. That's how you know you're doing it right. I remember the first time I did this, I was not doing it right. I wasn't turning it the right way. I wasn't going in the right spots, and I had a mess. So this is what you know. This is what your work should look like, depending on your hook, your tension, all that good stuff. So again, let's work on row 4, which we should have 4 spaces or 4 blocks because we have our 3. It's just like a pyramid. If you turn it upside down, it should look like a pyramid as you're going. You know, it should be your 1, then you go 2 and 3. And now we're going to have 4. So if you're with me, let's go ahead and chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And again, we're skipping that one, the first one and that second one, and we're going to go ahead and double crochet in the 3rd chain here. Then we're going to double crochet in the 4th chain. And then we're going to double crochet in the 5th chain. Look at that. Now that we have that, our work is down here. We're going to turn our work. So that's how we're going to do that. We're in row 4. We're turning our work, and we're going to go ahead and find that chain 2 space, and we're going to slip stitch right in there, guys. Look at that. And the moment we slip stitch that work in, notice how this just blends right in there, and it lays right on top. Next, we're going to chain 2. Remember, every time we slip stitch into a space, we're going to chain 2, and then we're going to do 3 double crochets right in that same spot. And what I like about this stitch is because I love the neatness of it. I love the different little blocks that it has. Super cute for blankets, guys. I made my first blanket. If you follow me on Instagram or Facebook, you'll see my love blanket I did by Marley Bird, which is super awesome. Next, you're going to go ahead and do the same exact thing. We're just slip stitching right into that chain 2 space. And we're chaining 2 again. Okay, and we're doing 3 doubles in that same space. So that's 1, we have 2, and we have 3. Next, we're going to do the same exact thing, and we're going to slip stitch in that last chain 2 space. And after we do that, we're going to chain 2. And we're going to do 3 doubles right in that same space, guys. So you're getting what I'm talking about. Every time you go up, you're going to be increasing, right? You're going to be increasing until you get your width that you want. It may be a blanket, it may be whatever you're choosing to be, a pillow. And if you're following a pattern will tell you how many rows of increase that you're going to do, and how many rows of, you know, decrease you're going to do. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come back, and I'm going to share with you how to change colors. So this is going to be how we're going to do this. We're going to do how to do the C2C, how to do a change of color, and how to decrease. So this is the first video on how to do the C2C, which we have this down. Next video of this series is going to be how to change colors, and the last is going to be how to decrease. So, and after that, we'll maybe even do a pattern if you guys are interested in doing that. So let me know, but let's go ahead and end it here, and thanks for watching. Catch you on part 2.